Hi everyone, my name is Sbu and I am a second year computer science student at University. I was asked by Frank to make a video with regards to social anxiety and to share a bit of my story with my challenges when it came to social anxiety. Um, I'm not much of a talker, and even this video, it took a lot from me to make because um, yeah, because speaking is not really my thing. I don't really talk that much. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna share something that's gonna be impactful to people and people are going to get my message and they're gonna turn my message into something positive. Okay, my challenges with social anxiety started when I started my first year and I had to start from the beginning where you had no friends, where you knew nobody, and you basically just had to begin your life at a really really fast pace. um, it became very difficult for me because my first day started in a lecture hall, and as it started in a lecture hall you got your first impression of the people that you're dealing with, and now you're seeing people asking these really really good questions, and you start to think for yourself and be like, man, how come I never ever thought about this? um, Lecturers start asking questions, people are answering, and you're there and you're lost. And now you feel like you should know these things because when you look to your left, when you look to your right, you see people working, you see people taking notes, you see people understanding. Like, it seems as if no one is struggling, right? And you feel as if these are things that you're supposed to know. These are things that you're supposed to get, and you now struggle to talk to someone. You struggle to ask the person next to you, yo, what's happening in this class? I don't understand. Because you feel like this person's gonna judge you. You feel like this person is gonna look at you and be like, man, what is this person doing in this course? And as a result, you start to even ask yourself, man, what am I doing in this course? And it started like that with me. When I was in, yeah, I remember it was a calculus class when I just walked in, and it was like, wow, okay, I have no cooking clue what's going on in here. And yeah, it was a bad start for me. It was rough because that first day um ended up almost ruining my entire year, because then every time I wanted to make a friend, it became really difficult for me because I thought that I was never smart enough. I was never, yeah, and I'm not a person that comes from um, a very rich family. So everything, yeah, the clothes that I wear and whatever is basically affordable in a sense. Yeah, but I don't have any high end clothing. But yeah, I don't own any high end clothing. So then when you get into university and you start seeing these people and you're like, wow, okay, people are moneyed in here, yeah, well. And you start to feel as if, okay, I don't belong here. I don't belong with these type of people because I feel like I'm not smart enough. I feel like when I hang with these people, I feel like it's not, yeah, I won't measure up because of the clothes that I wear, because of the way that I speak. And you start to judge yourself basically on everything that you do, you know. Like, you could just be walking in a social setting and you'd feel like everyone is watching. You'd feel like there's eyes all over you. And it becomes so difficult to a point where you even forget to walk. You even forget how you put the left foot in front of the right foot. And that's how bad it was for me, to a point where um, I struggled with a lot. I also contemplated suicide in the process. And I heard that one of the causes for suicide is the feeling of loneliness. And I can relate to that because when you when you feel, because okay, as humans, our lives are built around connection and communication. Like, we need to connect, we need to communicate to basically survive. No man can survive on his own. No man is an island, and that is a fact. Because we need each other to balance each other in terms, yeah, in support for like mental reasons, for health reasons, for academic reasons. We all need each other. And it became really difficult for me because like I felt like I don't fit in that sense. And basically how I overcame all of that is by realizing five things. Well, it was basically four things, but then since I had to make this academically related, I had to add the fifth thing. So the first thing was I had to be okay with being a nobody, because an empty cup can always be filled with potential, unlike a cup that is already filled. Um, it is really hard to pour something in it. Like whatever you're gonna pour into it, it's just gonna overflow and it's just gonna spill out. So if your cup is empty, you're able to you're able to fill it up. Yeah, and this is what Buddhists always say. Buddhists always say, empty your cup, empty your mind. Bruce Lee once said, empty your mind, be formless and shapeless, so that whatever can be poured into you can take shape. And that's what being a nobody is all about. If you're a nobody and you're okay with being a nobody, you realize that you have so much potential. You can become the person that you want to become. You can think of yourself and be like, okay, I want to be the greatest computer scientist that has ever lived. And if I'm basically a nobody, it means that I have, since there's nothing tying me, since there's nobody, yeah, since I'm not tied to anything, since nobody knows about me, I can basically start acting in that way. I can start carrying myself with the mannerisms of being a being the greatest computer scientist. Like I can start talking to people, I can start asking questions, no matter how dumb they sound, because nobody knows me, and in that way, I'm able to build myself. I'm basically building up a foundation. I'm starting from the bottom and I'm building a foundation and I'm going upwards. And um, whatever I build is now determined by me and not by what people think of me. And by realizing that, um, it made it easier to talk to people, because basically I didn't care anymore. I didn't care what anybody thought, um, so long I got what I wanted. And it actually worked for me. It worked really good for me. The second thing that I had to embrace is that everybody has their own problems and nobody cares about you. So basically what this means is it's not that deep. It's not about you. People are going through a lot. People are going through a lot relationshipically. People are going through a lot socially. People are going through a lot academically. And they couldn't give an F about you. Seeing you walking around the streets, it really has no impact on them. And basically, like, nobody cares about what you do. And so, if nobody cares about anything that you do, then why should you care? Why should you care what they think? Why should you be thinking that they care, since they don't? So it gives you this opportunity to mold yourself, to continue asking these questions, to continue, like, to stop being afraid of looking or sounding dumb. Because, okay, it might sound dumb now, but then someone is going to think about their issue and is going to think about wanting to deal with the issue, and is going to forget that you ever said something like this or you ever did something like this. The third one is focus on OQP. OQP stands for only quality people. Now, I hear that people say that you shouldn't use your friends, you shouldn't have friends with benefits. I say the opposite. Have friends with benefits. Look, if no one is adding value to your life, they're subtracting from it. They're taking away something from it. So you need friends who are able to empower you. You need friends who are able to who are able to get you to where you want to be. So the benefits of being socially anxious is that you are able to observe. And when you're able to observe, you're able to tell who are the right people for me and who are the wrong people for me. And by knowing who the wrong people are for you, you are able to subtract those people and start looking into socializing with people who will benefit you. And that is highly important. That is highly important, because these are people who are going to help you build yourself and get you to where you want to be, which is ultimately to finish your degree for most of us, right? And yeah, the fifth one is do not fear failure, fall in love with it. We're in university, you're gonna fail, you're gonna suck. Life is just gonna kick you down, it's just gonna put you down on the ground, and you need to fall in love with that. Because what failure does is it helps you identify where you went wrong in your life. It helps you find loopholes in your life. In coding, we call them bugs. It helps you to find the bugs in your code and gives you an opportunity to fix them. So failure is always an option here in university, and it is something that a lot of us stay away from, and a lot of us should be embracing, because if you're able to become comfortable with the fact that you're gonna fail, right, then you realize that every mistake is an income, and therefore you shouldn't really worry about what people think. Again, you shouldn't worry about what people think, because even if what you did or what you said or what you asked is dumb, it helps you identify why it was dumb and how do you make it sound interesting, how do you build onto that. And lastly, and this one is the academically related one. Lecturers love attention. They love it so much. So it's important for you to schedule these calls, and when you schedule these calls, as much as you're going to talk about your work, ask lecturers other things, and they will help you get to where you want to become. Absorb as much as you can from them. Ask them about their research. Ask them about how they got through first year. Talk to them about the challenges that you are facing. I mean, most of them are actually quite friendly, and they love being asked these questions, and they love spending time with you, and they will give you solid answers, and most of them will actually start connecting you with other lecturers or other people who are going to help you build yourself. And some might actually, for example, I had a lecturer, his name was Steve, and Steve is the reason why I'm actually interested in pursuing a PhD in computer science, because like listening to Steve talk about his research, listening to Steve talk about what he's doing, what he has done, and he made it sound so interesting, and I realized that this is where I want my life to be, you know. Yeah, so that's the conclusion of my 5 points, and so I really wanna iterate this. Um, most of what stems, or most of what causes social anxiety is overthinking, okay? It's thinking what the next person thinks of you. And as a result, you start to shy away from social events. You fail to talk to people, because now you start to think what these people are going to think of you. And that really hinders you from a lot of progress. Um, Steve Jobs once said that you're already naked, so there is no reason for you to not live the life that you want to live. You are basically the artist, and the world is your canvas. And if you care what people think about your art, it won't really be art anymore, because art is supposed to be expressive, and your life is an art. And God is the artist, your life is the art, so it's up to you to make the art meaningful. And I hope that this message touches someone, and someone realizes it, and shares it, and it actually helps someone someday.